Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast on YouTube. Spawn number 10. I think this is one of those Spawn issues that's not getting reprinted now. I'll admit, when Spawn was announced, I'm like, fuck yeah. I like McFarlane's art, and I still do. I hadn't read much he wrote because I did not read the Spider-Man title he wrote and drew. I know. I think the only issue I ever bought was the one where it crossed over at X-Force. But I like that. I read that. I was like, okay, Spawn looked pretty cool. And I started reading, it's Faust Love the Damned, just toned down for teenagers. But I still read Spawn regularly for the first 2 years. Because Spawn was coming out almost monthly. It was one of the few Image titles you knew was going to come out almost on time. Well, McFarlane, starting with issue 8, decided, okay, people are always talking about, Image, all art, no writing. So he's going to go out and get some big name writers to write issues. And issue 8 was the Alan Moore issue. And it dealt with Billy Kincaid going to hell. Cool issue. Issue 9, the one that ended up costing McFarlane a pile of money. Neil Gaiman wrote and created the character of Angela and Carlos Lesko. And there was all kinds of arguments over who owned the characters and all this shit. Now Neil Gaiman sold the character to Marvel. But issue 10, this is the one, the first read through on this, I'm like, it wasn't that good. Then I went back and reread it. This is 92. And I was just not thinking when I read it the first time. I got it on the second read. And this is a newsstand version. It's in pretty good shape. People don't realize that Image, at least for the first couple of years, I was finding their issues on the newsstands. I mean, I had a subscription. I had a pull list at the comic shop. Like Spawn number 1, I had a copy of it newsstand. And my understanding is that for the print run of Spawn number 1, 98% of those are going to be your comic shop versions. There's going to be no barcode on it. 2% is going to be newsstand. So they're even rare. I mean, Spawn number 1's not a rare comic. But the newsstand one is really rare. And finding those in high grade is even harder. This is not high grade. I got this recently in Random Lot of Comics. This is the Dave Sim issue because you got Cerebus on the cover and it says, God, color. And what this was is, each one of these, and they're also on newsprint paper. Story, Dave Sim. Art, Todd McFarlane. Letters and editor, Tom Orzechowski. Color, Steve Oliver and Ruben Root and Ollie Optics. This is still from Malibu. Dedicated to Don Heck. I did like that. Oh man, there's a rip in my cover. I never realized that. And for at least the first year or so, each issue was dedicated to a different great comic talent. I am Spawn, I'm not Spawn. What this is Spawn he tries to teleport. And he ends up down in this world where you got all these heroes here. And you got, what's that? That's the Hulk. And there's Batman, and Venom and all that. And it's basically like this. They are noble, they are heroes, champions, watchmen, avengers, defenders, men of steel, women of tomorrow, gods of thunder, crusaders. Injustice, help us. Injustice, save us. They are justice, they are nobility, they are trapped, they are screaming. Behind me, the hooded men tremble. Beneath their hoods, they are weeping. Injustice, no. And it's Spawn, but there's Superman. And then a lone voice, a voice filled with hope and with great carrying, strong and noble. The voice of he who came first. My planet exploded and I was sent to Earth as an instant. The voice is calm. It's up to you, Spawn. It is now or never. My power is yours, Spawn. Take it. In my mind, he winks at me and flashes a broad smile. Beneath my mask, I smile back and nod silently. Their power flows into me, surging through every limb. My power, which I had thought to be unlimited, I am not, Spawn, is nothing compared to this. My arms are the earth and stars, the planets, and all the galaxies that ever were or ever will be. They swing forward. What it is basically Spawn and Dave Sim going off on how, you create these characters for DC and Marvel, they own them and make all the money off of them, and you get a pittance. Like the infamous McFarlane, thing. I didn't even get a watch. You're putting out stuff with my T-shirts with my characters, the stuff I draw, but I didn't even get a watch. My dad got a watch. He worked at the factory. I can't do it good. Okay, and look at this. I like this here. Weeping softly behind the bars, the star child, he who came first, the one who is the basis for all of us, says one word: doomsday. There's no fear in his voice, no despair. It's a simple statement of fact. And then all is quiet. The science is definitely the science. Silence is agony. And we switch over to black and white, and this is Cerebus. Basically, okay, Cerebus is Dave Sim. Anything he says is coming straight out of Dave Sim's mouth. Anything Spawn says is coming out of McFarlane's mouth. And it's them talking about creator rights. And that's the whole issue, and it ends right here. Spawn is trademark and copyright Todd McFarlane. Cerebus trademark and copyright Dave Sim forever. Like I said, the first time I read this, and I probably ran through it quick because what month is this? Let me see. May of 93. This is 92. May of 93. Okay, I was already out of school by then. So yeah, it was probably one of these where I was on a work break and ran to the comic shop and grabbed a copy and skimmed it real quick and just didn't catch on reading. I'm like, oh. And of course, the next issue says Frank Miller. The Frank Miller one fucking sucks. It was the first time that I ever saw anything from Miller and read. I'm like, oh, this ain't good. But it's weird when Frank Miller does Spawn, it just ain't good. Like the Spawn Batman crossover, that was like $5. Oh, that fucking was horrible. I bought it, read it twice, I'm like, fuck this pile of shit and gave it to a buddy. Look what else is coming out. Shaman's Tears, number 1, great book. 1963, number 2, great book. Brigade, number 1, Trencher, not bad. Spawn 11. Stormwatch 2. Stormwatch is way, way better than people give credit for. Phantom Force, the book that really gave Kirby a pile of money. Wildstar, number 2, great book. Youngblood Strike File. We got our letter page. I like this. Some of you might be asking yourself, who was that little furry gray guy in this issue? Well, his name is Cerebus. He appears in a monthly black and white book of the same name from Aardvark Vanheim. His creator is Dave Sim, writes, pencil, and inks every issue and does a great column called Notes from the President. Very informative. I consider Dave to be one of the godfathers of independent comics. I cannot believe that Cerebus is already up to issue 170. I remember starting to collect Cerebus when it was still numbered in the low teens. The book is the most intelligent, witty, fun comic you can buy. It always makes you laugh and leaves you scratching your head in amazement. Dave reprints 20 30 issues at a time in phone book size editions for about $20 to $25. You're not getting a better deal anywhere. And it shows you how to order them. And Cerebus was basically, Dave Sim started, it was a parody, like an anthropomorphic parody of Barry Windsor Smith's run on Conan the Barbarian. After about 25 issues, it morphed. And Sim decided it was going to be a 300-issue long series. And that's what it became. And Todd McFarlane has gotten Spawn to last even longer. And we got some fan art. There's Supreme and Spawn. There's Shadowhawk, Savage Dragon, Spartan, Pit, Spawn, Riptide. I don't know her name. I didn't read a lot of Cyber Force. Is that Spartan again? Spartan. Razor Claw, something like that. Imp. No clue. Maul, Spawn. Armature says, the better you draw, the better we color. Public service announcement from Ollie Optics. Point Arena, California. Image gets stupid. Actually, not a bad book. We got you covered. Laser printed t-shirts from Spawntastic Apparel. Dale Keown, or Spawn issue number 6. Ooh, don't mind that Dale Keown one. Shadowhawk, Owlish Shadows. And then an ad for Gay Comics. Which, surprisingly, is not that bad a book. I figure, okay, it's gonna be one of those where it appeals more to people who are homosexuals. But there was an issue where Sam Keith had a Max story in there. And the comic shop I was going to at the time, the owner knew I loved Max. And he's like, hey, I come in, it was Wednesday or Thursday. Oh, it was probably a Friday because I got paid on Friday. He goes, I got some comics in. He goes, I'll put this to the side for you. If you do not want it, that's cool. And if you're offended, I'm sorry. He goes, but I know you're not going to be offended. I was like, wait, because it's Gay Comics number, whatever. It's got a Max story. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I actually sat down and realized, there's some good shit in this. And then Dooms 4, which was one of those Rob Liefeld things that I don't think it got more than 3 issues. But this is just a classic issue. And if I remember right, they cannot reprint. This is one of those because of the Dave Sim thing. Because Dave Sim is really... He has issues, mental issues. I think this is one of the Spawn issues, but they're just not going to reprint. For a long time there, issue 9 wasn't reprinted because of the Neil Gaiman thing, but now it is. This one, I don't think it's reprinted in anything besides this issue, unless you get some of the early trades. So it's one where this was, didn't have that ding in the cover. This would actually be worth a little bit. And what's weird is that this did not have the poster on it. Or did this one? Maybe, okay, it might not have come with a poster because it's newsstand. But yeah, great one of those really good things. I'm sure got a lot, because there's a lot of kids reading Spawn. Man, I was in a comic shop, working in a comic shop when Spawn first came out, and there was a lot of kids that were a little too young for it. Like that first Billy Kincaid issue with the ice cream man. Oh God, I remember a couple of kids buying. They're like 5. They said, "Like, man, look at them going, man, I really don't want to sell this to you, but it's not a mature reader's title, and the owner of the shop doesn't give a fuck. So yeah, here, man, enjoy." Thinking, man, their parents see this, they're gonna chew me out. But got a lot of people think about creator rights in comics. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, if you did, give me that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all that other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye bye.